And now for your homework. Your homework for this unit will be statistical debugging on a mystery program. The idea is that you get a mystery program and a number of runs which pass or fail, and your job is to apply statistical debugging to find out what is it in the mystery program that causes the failures. However, this time we're going to look at another set of execution features, that is, not lines executed, but instead the return values of individual functions. One of the outputs of your task could be that the program fails whenever f returns a value that's greater than 0. For this, you need to track the return values of individual functions. And again, the Python traceIt function will do that for you. The event is return, and the return value is contained in the argument. Plus, you need to categorize the return values in multiple buckets. I want you to use precisely 3 categories, namely less than 0, 0, and greater than 0. For numerical values, this is straightforward. Depending on the sign, we put them into one of the 3 categories. But what for non-numerical values? Say lists or strings or dictionaries or sets. For these, you compute the length. If a string is empty, then it comes into the 0 category. If it has 1 character or more, then it comes into the greater than 0 category. Same goes for sets, no elements, 1 element or more, lists, and dictionaries likewise. The Boolean values false and true also go into 0 and greater than 0. Since less than 0 is frequently used to indicate some exceptional return value, we're going to use this category for special values such as none, not a number, as well as for exceptions. That is, if a function does not return a value but raises an exception instead, then you categorize this in the same way as a return value that is less than 0. What you then do is, for each function, you compute the phi coefficient for each category as well as for its respective complement. What do I mean by complement? Well, let me illustrate this with an example. So again, you set up a table and count in how many runs the function f returned a value that was less than 0. You do this for the failing runs as well as for the passing runs. The complement here, of course, is any value that is greater or equal than 0. And again, you count the number of runs. And this is something you do for each category. For the 0 category, you check whether the return value was 0 or whether it was non-zero. And finally, you do the same for the 3rd category, namely greater than 0. Now your task will be to compute the phi coefficients for all functions and all categories as well as their complements, and then to find out for the mystery program which is the one function whose return value category correlates the strongest with failure. Here's your chance to apply statistics to do the debugging. Enjoy!